Good morning and welcome to 12.3's Z School. Today we'd like to talk about layout rules, which is a feature within CRM. I'll explain the feature, but it's easier to show you and we'll build it here very quickly. Layout rules can change the appearance and the making of mandatory fields. So the example we're going to use today is we're going to take the leads module, and if a lead is qualified, we might want to display a few more fields. Things you wouldn't know when you get a raw lead, but if a lead is qualified, you might say, I need to know these things. And we're going to make them appear, and we're also going to make a couple of them mandatory. And then we'll show you how that works. So here we are in Zoho CRM. I'm in a leads module. This is all sample data that Zoho provides you. So we have here a lead status field. This lead is a lost lead, but we will say if it's contacted, we're going to turn on a couple of fields. And if you've contacted them, you should have learned what the number of employees were and the annual revenue was. So we won't make these fields mandatory. We should also make the lead quality mandatory. Like you should know after contacting that the lead quality was good or bad. So that's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. So I'm going to go to the gear, customize modules and fields. Again, you've got to have admin rights. We're going to go to the leads module. Zoho comes with one standard layout. You can have up to 3 layouts, and those are different forms. So let's say you sold boats and cars, and if this is a car lead, you want to know make and model and mileage. But if it's a boat lead, you want to know length of boat and other things. So you could actually have 2 different forms depending on 2 different lead sets. That's one way to do it. You'd have to tell every new lead that it's a boat lead or a car lead. So your automation of leads can get a little bit trickier because you got to make sure that a lead coming off the web that you've identified it as a boat or a car lead. Sometimes it's easy. You can do a lot with layout rules and just have one layout. It's easier to administer one layout. Sometimes when you're training users, if they say, hey, I'm not seeing what you're seeing, well, it's because they're in a different layout and they didn't set the right layout. So I find it kind of simpler as a rule to have one layout and to use layout rules when possible. So we're going to go to layout rules. At the moment, we have none. You can have many. I've never hit a limit. So we're going to call this, I usually do it by the field that's driving it. You can put a little description in here. It's optional. You'll see it's not red, so it's not mandatory, but show annual revenue and employees if contacted. Also, lead quality. And so it says choose the primary field that controls this rule. So this all works off of one field. And I'm going to choose the lead status field. It doesn't have to be a pick list field. It could be last name. I don't know why you would use last name, but if it were a certain type of industry, you might want to turn on 5 new fields. You can do that. So if the number of employees is over 1,000, you want to know more kind of thing. We're going to pick lead status. And so you get this kind of flow chart thing. If the lead status is contacted, say done. So there's our condition, lead status is contacted. And then the action is I can show a field, or I can set a mandatory field, or I can show an entire section. So I could have a whole section with 10 fields in it. I wouldn't have to turn each one on manually, or with the rule, I could just turn the whole section on. So we're going to show the number of employees. We're going to show the annual revenue. And we said we would show lead quality. And save that. I'm also going to do another action. I'm going to make lead quality mandatory. So we don't have to make all 3 fields mandatory. And then I could have a second rule here that says if lead status is junk lead, I don't even know if I can do this, but let's try. Let's see if we can make notes mandatory. I don't think you can, but you never know. Nope. We'll make description. We'll make description mandatory as well. It's just for example purposes. And so we're done. It's an odd thing, there is no save, but it's saved. So we can get out of here. I will exit customization. We'll go back home to a lead. If I pull up this first lead, we will see that the lead quality, the status right now is lost lead, but the lead quality, the annual revenue, and the number of employees are not showing. They're hidden. If I change this to contacted, it says you have to fill in the lead quality. So I'll say it was good. And we also said we would show the annual revenue and we would show the number of employees. So that's what our layout rule did for us, is we can, say, look, it can't be a qualified lead unless you get these answers to these three questions. And if I changed it to a junk lead, it must mean the description. I would probably put a message in here as why is this junk? So could not contact. Helps to spell. Actually, it helps to type. And so now I have in the description field, I would probably create a field called junk lead reason as to why you think it's junk, just so marketing knows that some of the leads they're getting aren't good. And that's layout rules. Pretty simple feature, but you can have some sophistication, like you get better data quality if it's a qualified lead, we need some information. If it's a junk lead, we need some information. So as the lead progresses, we can turn fields on and off, show them and not show them. I really like having fields that are simple for users to use. I don't like to make them fill out 100 things, only when it's appropriate. So as the lead progresses, we can turn things on and off. There's a more hyper advanced version of layout rules. We're not going to talk about it today. I just want to mention it. It's called Blueprint. I'll show you that. We'll talk about that in a future one. It's hard to talk about in 20 minutes, but there's a Zoho comes with a couple of default blueprints. They're turned off, but they're there if you want to look at them. And it's more of a flow chart type of thing. And so as a lead goes from none to not contacted to attempted to contacted to bad lead, junk lead, we can set up rules as to how you move from state to state. So there's a lot of automations. Today's thing was about layout rules, and I wanted to show you that existed and show you how to use it. It's pretty simple to set up. Experience is a great teacher. So this is Jeff from 12-3 LLC. We are a 5-person Zoho consultancy all over the East Coast of the US. We've been Zoho partners since 2014. We've been in the CRM business since 1993. And thank you for attending today. Take care, everyone.